Hari Om everyone, welcome to the class. We are going to learn the Arduino and how to use the Arduino in different projects. So we will have different modules of Arduino, and today we are going to start with the module 1, where we'll have the introduction of Arduino board, and you are with the ATL in charge, Mr. Rajesh Kumar Sharma. So let's start the class now. So very first is, what is Arduino? So in brief we can say Arduino is having two different parts. One is the hardware and one is the software, and when we combine these two together, then we are able to do wonders. So today we will talk about hardware, and next class onwards we'll go for the software. So very first you can read out the statement, that is Arduino consists of both a physical programmable circuit board, that is also called microcontroller, and a piece of software, that is IDE, that runs on your computer, used to write and upload computer code to the physical board. So no need to learn this definition of Arduino. The only thing you should know, Arduino is something like a robot, a mini robot, which is having the hardware that is you are able to see, and the software is the program. So any robot will do any function based on the program. So overall Arduino is a mini robot which is having the hardware components and which is having the software, and software we are going to learn from module 2 onwards. Today we will just talk about hardware. Okay, so you can see this is your one of the Arduino board, that is nothing but the hardware, or we can say mini robot. So today we are going to learn about this. That is how it looks like. Arduino board is the hardware part of the Arduino which can be programmed. So we can upload the software to this hardware and we can do any projects or any kind of function, any kind of work that we can think of. So we'll see, and I hope you'll enjoy the Arduino projects as well. So let's see. Next thing is different types of the Arduino board we have in the market. So you can see there are different types. It is Arduino Uno, Arduino Leonardo, Arduino Lilypad, Mega, Nano, Mini, Mini Pro, BT. So different types of the Arduino board are there in the market, but in the ATL we are basically getting Arduino Uno, Arduino Mega and Arduino Nano, and which are more than enough to do any kind of projects. Okay, so we will just see the Arduino Uno, Mega and Nano, and we'll see what are the different parts and how to use it. Okay, so before we go for the main Arduino, we should know some components related with the Arduino, that is the output and input components, that is also called output device or input device. So overall with the Arduino we are going to connect the different components. That component can be LED, can be motor, can be sensors, anything. And out of many components, few components will be under the output category, few will be under input category. That is for the Arduino, some components are input, some components are output, and that we should know. Then only we can do the projects and we can program it properly. So very first is output device for Arduino board, LED. So in general LED will be just operated by the Arduino. So if I want that LED should automatically go on and off, that is LED should blink itself, then overall it will be controlled by Arduino. So if I want the LED to blink, then LED will give the get the power for some time, and LED will not get the power for some time, and this power will be given by Arduino itself. So overall Arduino is going to control this LED, means power should be given or should not be given. So overall for the Arduino board it is the output, because Arduino is giving output values to this LED. Same like you talk about the motor. So motor will get the value if it is to be at high speed, then the Arduino will give high values to the motor. If the motor should not work, it should remain off, then Arduino will not give any power to the motor. So again, with the help of the Arduino, we are able to control it. Sometimes get the power, sometimes don't get the power. So this is how the motor can be controlled. So even for the Arduino board, the motor is under the output category, we can say. Buzzer also, if I want this to make sound, sometime it should not make some sound. So who will control it? Arduino. So Arduino will give the power, then it will make the sound. If it will not get the power, it will not make the sound. So these are just 3 examples to understand what is output device or output components for the Arduino board, because that is very important. So only thing you should remember, if the components are just depending upon Arduino and Arduino is going to control them, giving the values and not giving the value sometime, then they will be under output category. Okay, but input category just opposite. Just take an example of different sensor. So when we talk about temperature sensor, when we talk about some other sensors, so temperature sensor will record the value from atmosphere, and that value will be given to the Arduino, and Arduino will read the value and it will display. So overall, Arduino is going to give some input from other components. So if the Arduino is getting the input from the component, then components will be under input category. So almost all the sensors will come under the input category or input components. So this is your temperature sensor, which can record the temperature of the atmosphere, and that will give different values to the Arduino. So overall, Arduino will get the values from the sensor. So for the Arduino, it is input. This is your IR sensor, that is also going to give values to the Arduino, so that will also under the input category. This is your sound sensor. It will get the sound values from the atmosphere, and that will be given to the Arduino. So Arduino will just read the value. So if Arduino just has to read the value from any components, so we can say the Arduino is getting input from those components. So those components will come under input category or input components. And if the Arduino is going to give values to the other components, so those components will come under output category. So LED, motor, buzzer, they will just get values from the Arduino, so they are under output, and the sensor will give the values to the Arduino, so they are under input category. That is should be clear, because this will help us to program the components with the help of Arduino. Next thing is, when the devices or the components we have input or output. So if they are input, they are going to give values to the Arduino. If they are output, they are going to get values from the Arduino. So the values which are given to them, or the values which are received by them, that values can be in the form of digital or analog. That is another concept we should know, digital and analog. So digital value and analog values we should understand properly. So if you see the switch, in the switch only 2 options we have, on and off. So when it is on, we can say the power is there. If it is off, the power is not there. So it is just there or not there. So if it is just on and off, it is a kind of digital. Like the binary number, we have 0 and 1. So 0 is means it's not there, nothing, no power, and 1 means there is power, that is high. So 1 is for high and 0 is for low. Same with the switch also. So when the switch is on, we can say it is 1. If the switch is off, it is 0. So whenever we have this kind of values, just high and low, we call it digital. So examples we have, like LED should just go on and off. So only 2 values are there, that is LED is on when the power is there, LED is off when the power is not there. So that will come under digital category. Same like motor should just go on and off. So if the motor is on, means there is power, so there is high power, and that is digital. Okay, if there is no power, so motor will be off, so 0. So when the power is there, 1. If the power is not there, 0. So again it will come under digital. So that is one possibility we have. So whenever we talk about digital, just remember a switch that is just can go on and off, nothing else. And analog is different values which are possible. Take an example of the temperature. So when the temperature will be recorded, that temperature will not be just 0 or 1 or high or low, it will have different values. So the temperature can vary in decimal also, 10.1 degrees Celsius, 1 degree Celsius, 13.3 degrees Celsius, 17.7 degrees Celsius. Lots of possibilities are there. So when this temperature will be recorded by any sensor, then it is understood that values will be given to the Arduino, and that values will be any number. So if we have many values possible, then that will come under analog category. So just take an example. So we can say if many values are possible, then it will come under analog category. So take an example, the change in brightness of LED. So one condition we have seen that LED should go on and off. So it is just on and off, it will come under digital category. But if we talk about the change in brightness of LED, means it should be off, then it should glow, then it should glow brighter, and with the time the brightness should increase. So when we are increasing the brightness of LED, what is happening there? We are basically increasing the power given to the LED. So we are giving different values of the power to the LED so that its brightness can change, and then it is under analog category. So LED itself can be getting digital values, can be getting analog values. If it is getting digital, it will just go on and off. If it will get analog values, it can have different brightness. Same with the speed of motor. So the motor can be just getting high power and no power, so that is digital, means it is just working or not working. But in between also we can have a change in the speed, that is also called RPM. So we can change the speed of the motor by giving different values. So when we talk about different speed of the motor, means we are having different values given to the motor, so that will also come under analog category. Same in the temperature. So the temperature which is recorded by any sensor will not be just high or low, it will have different values, so that will come under analog category. So briefly you should know, if any components are connected with the Arduino, that components are overall giving some values to the Arduino or getting some values from the Arduino. Okay, that values can be in the form of digital, can be in the form of analog, and that we should know in advance before we go for the projects. Okay, whether they are going to give some analog values or digital values, because accordingly we have to connect with the Arduino board. So I hope it is clear to you. And briefly you should know, if it is just on and off condition, digital. If there are variations, it is analog. Now let's move to the next part, that is Arduino Uno. So we will understand the hardware, that is the different parts of the Arduino, and the meaning and how to connect, where to connect, so that we'll have the clarity in the projects. So very first you can see the Arduino Uno board, how it looks like. And since it is a kind of mini robot, so any robot needs power, means some power should be given. So for that we have different points on this Arduino board through which we can give the power, and let me show you all. So very first we can give the power through the USB cable. So USB plug is there, and this can be connected to the laptop, to the power bank, to the desktop through the USB cable, and the power can be given to this. Otherwise you have the other point, that is external power supply. So with the help of the battery and DC jack, we can give the power to this Arduino board. Or if you directly want to connect this battery or a battery to this Arduino to give the power to this board, then you can use this pin number here, that is voltage IN and ground pins. So voltage IN is to be connected with the positive of the battery that you have, and negative of the battery will be connected to the ground pin next to the voltage IN. So here there are two different ground pins, but we have to use any one ground and one voltage IN. So through these three methods we can give the power to this Arduino board. And one thing should be taken care, that the minimum voltage required is 7 to 9 volt and maximum should be 30 to 35 volt, not more than that. Okay, so overall we are giving the power to this Arduino board, and that can be connected with the different power supply, different voltage of the battery. So in this case what will happen, the Arduino board will be affected and the parts can also be damaged. So there should be a regular supply, a constant supply of the power to this Arduino board. And for this we have one IC on this which is installed. So you can see one IC with 3 pins, black in color, you can see. So this is called a linear voltage regulator, which basically controls the power. So even if your power supply, the battery you have connected is 10 volt, 12 volt, 30 volt, this regulator IC or IC will convert that into low voltage, that is 5 volt only, and overall this board will get 5 volt power supply. So this IC is 7805 IC, that is the linear voltage regulator, which converts the input voltage into 5 volt only. And only you have to remember that minimum power supply should be 7 to this board, and maximum should be 30 to 35 volt. Above 35 volt power supply, if you connect with this Arduino board, then this IC may not work, and the things can be damaged. So that is to be taken care. So I hope this is understood how to give the power. And the IC we have one reset button that you can see. So reset button is just to refresh the program. So we know this is the hardware and we are going to upload the software also in this, that is the program will be uploaded here in this hardware. And if the program is not working properly, then we can refresh the program through this reset button. So reset button is not to delete the program, it is just to run the program again, same program which is uploaded there. So I hope this much you understood. Now let's move to the next part. Now you can see this side we have 3.3 volt and 5 volt, two different pins which are mentioned there. Next to the ground pins, one is 5 volt and one is 3.3 volt. So in general, once this Arduino board gets the power, then this can also supply power to other components. So this can work as a battery for other components. So for example, any sensor needs 5 volt power, then that sensor may not be connected with the battery, that can be connected directly with this 5 volt. So if any components required 5 volt, that 5 volt can be given through this 5 volt pin. If the component needs 3.3 volt, like some sensor needs 3.3 volt only, so that can be connected with 3.3 volt here. So this 5 volt and 3.3 volt is just to give power to other components. Okay, so that will be mostly utilized when we are going with the sensors and even basic circuits we can have this power supply, we'll see. Okay, so I hope this part is clear. Now moving to the next, you can see here it is written digital IO pins 2 to 13. So these are the main pins we have on this Arduino board, which will be connected with the different components. Okay, so overall it is written digital IO, that is input output pins 2 to 13. So we understood the meaning of digital means if we want the components to just go on and off, then we can use these pins starting from 2 to 13. The pin is starting from 0, 0, 1, 2 till 13, but we are going to start with the pin number 2 only, not with 0 and 1. I'll let you know why. So any components which are just to be made on and off, for that we are going to use the pins starting from 2 to 13. So these are called digital pins. So one thing is this, that is written input or output. So if the components are to be connected in the form of input or in the form of output, in both the ways these pins can be connected. Okay, so this pins 2 to 13 can be used in the form of digital, can be used in the input and output cases both. And one more thing is taken care, like in some pin number, in front of some pin numbers like pin number 3, pin number 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, if you see these pin numbers, in front of those pin number there is a special sign, wave like. So that basically shows that these pins are having two functions. One, it can work as digital pin, it can also work as analog pin. So pin number 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, in front of which we have a special symbol, wave like, they are having two functions, that can be used as analog, that can be used as digital, both. So we can say this side we have pin number 2 to 13 digital pins and 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11 analog pins as well. Okay, so whether we are using this pin number, that is 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11 as digital or analog, that we will specify in the programming. So that is to be understood. So the Arduino should be very clear that if we are using a particular pin number for digital or analog, first thing. Second, it is for input or output. So these things can be done with the help of these pins that we have this side. So either it is input or output, in both the cases we can use this. And if you see the other side here, it is written analog IN pins 0 to 5. So this is A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. So these are analog pins. So if the components are to be connected with the Arduino, and if they are just analog, I mean they are just having the analog values, then we are going to use this pin number A0 to A5 and in the form of input only. So it is written analog IN. So these pins will be just used as input pins and only for the analog components. So that is to be understood here. If any component is going to give values to the Arduino in the analog form, then we are going to use this pin number A0 to A5. We can also use this pin number, that is 3, 5, 9, 10, 11 other side also. So it is our choice, we are using this side or other side. But if we are using a particular pin number of the Arduino, we must specify in the program as well. So I hope you understood. A0 to A5 this side and pin number 2 to 13 other side. These are the pins which are to be connected in the circuit. Means different components will be connected, and that must be specified in the programming. So this is all about the pins, and more you'll understand when we'll start with the project. Now you see, this is the main part of this Arduino, that is microcontroller, ATmega 328 microcontroller. So this is the main part of the Arduino, because this is the brain of the Arduino. So all the functions are basically operated with the help of this microcontroller only. Okay, so this is one thing that you understood. And one more thing is pin number 13. Next to 13 we have another ground pin. So ground pin we always need for different circuits, because we know any component has positive and negative. Negative of every component will go to the ground. We'll see later on, but you should remember, one ground pin we have next to 13 and two ground pins we have this side, that is next to voltage IN. So total 3 ground pins we have on this Arduino board, and through USB cable we are going to give the program to this Arduino board. So when we are going to upload the program to this Arduino board, that will be done with the help of the laptop or desktop. So for that we are going to connect this Arduino through USB. So through USB plug we are going to upload the program or software to this Arduino. So we can say USB plug has two functions. One is to give the power and second is to upload the program. And once you upload the program, that program will remain there in this microcontroller. And if you want to upload another program, you just upload the new one. So previous one will be deleted automatically and new one will be uploaded. So for uploading we always need this USB plug and a USB cable. So every Arduino has a USB plug as well, so that we can upload the program with the help of USB cable. And for different types of Arduino board, different types of Arduino cable is also available in the market. So this is more than enough to start with the Arduino. At least you should understood you have understood the different pins, how to give power and how to upload, and which pins to be connected for what, that you have to remember. And here you see this is pin number 0 and 1. This is written RX and TX. So this is basically for transmission and receiving. So when we have a kind of communication, like when we are going to use the Bluetooth, so in that case we are going to use 0 and 1. So 0 and 1 is just for the communication purpose. Like if we are going to connect with the we are going to operate any circuit with the help of Bluetooth or something, then we need the transmission, we need the receiving. For that we are going to use the pin number 0 and 1, otherwise 0 and 1 will not be utilized in the circuit. So I hope you understood this much. Now let's move to the next, that is Arduino Mega. So overall the basic components are same. The only thing is in Arduino Mega we have more number of pins and more functions. So at least you should know the pin numbers which are written there. Digital will be digital, analog will be analog, but here you can see analog pins starting from A0 to A15. So we have more number of pins here. And digital also you can see pin number 53. So in the previous one we just had 13, here we have 53. So Mega, we can say it can control more functions, means it can have more components with it, and it can do much more functions as compared to the Arduino Uno, and rest things are almost same. So that is all thing you have to remember. So even for this we need the same power supply, 7 to 30 volt maximum, and rest thing will be understood when we'll do the circuits with the Arduino Mega. And Arduino Nano is small in size, and it will have less functions, less pin numbers as compared to the Arduino Uno. So Arduino Nano we basically use when we are making very small circuit and we want to carry something with us. So somewhere we need a small component so that the circuit or the project should not be heavy. Somewhere we need more functions, then we go for Arduino Mega. So based on our requirement we can go for any of the Arduino board we are having with us. So even in Arduino Nano you can see this is the way through which you give the power. So USB cable is different for this board, and rest are the pins here. So here in the digital pins it is written D0, D1, D2, D3, and for analog it will be A0, A1, A2, A3, same way. So almost the pin numbers are same, and of all the three different types of the Arduino board, the program will also be almost same. So same program can run in all the three hardware, but only thing we should be very clear in the programming, and the Arduino board should also be clear with the things, that is which pins are connected for what function. So that we'll understand with the help of programming in the next module. So I hope you understood this much, and for today it's done. You must revise it properly, and you should know different parts of the Arduino board, so that next class onwards, when we'll start with the Arduino module 2, that is the software part, then we'll talk about hardware and software both together all the time, because whenever we are doing any software, we are doing programming, always we have to keep keep this hardware in our mind, that is, this is Arduino board, these are the pin numbers, I'm going to use this pin number for this. So that should have the clarity. Okay, so for today I'm done, and thank you. I hope you enjoyed the class and understood the Arduino hardware, and I'll see you in the next module very soon. Take care.